Hello, hello. We are making another video, the baby dog and I. And the light is always really, really bad in the camera feature. So photo is good. Photo has good lighting. The camera doesn't have good light pickup. But whatever, it's okay. It's just these videos are dark and I can't change that. This is my new Chromebook. The old white Chromebook had better light pickup in the video recording, but that's okay. So anyway, I was irritated earlier, as I always am. I was thinking about the haters, how they have tyrannized me and tortured me psychologically for 15 years. And in the most cruel way you can possibly imagine, just in the most cruel, the most sadistic and the most painful and vicious way, and I just don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. So then they said they tried nice. I don't know who anyone is anyway, so it wouldn't matter. They constantly change photos, takes someone else's photo, so I never know who they are. And so under which account were you nice to me? Under Scotty? Under Old Man? Under human rights person? Under soldier in Afghanistan? Lots of different personas, so frog accounts, they were never nice, by the way, so lots of women accounts to make me suffer, to make me jealous. Indian women, US women, and they're all heavily flirting with Zayn to make me jealous. It was like, what a I mean, it doesn't get any more sad for me to be spending my time in a chat room where people can get away with everything, where they can just torture someone into the ground psychologically, causing them to be suicidal. And why did I spend time in there? Why? I'm asking myself, Nicola, why? Why did you do that? No idea. I have a bunch of explanations, but then why should I torture myself deliberately like this, right? My dogs died, yeah. Kenny died in 2016, Papa died in 2019. And then the miserable pandemic, 2020, 2021, 2022. And that was, and then also later as well. And off and on, I wasn't in the chat room. Then they would come and ask me to come back. Don't you want to be tortured some more? I don't understand you. You should want to be tortured more. Isn't that, it was so much fun, wasn't it? For you to be tortured psychologically? We enjoyed it so much to torture you. Why don't you come back in the chat room? We miss you. We miss you, miserable, miserable, self-destructive. She's used to it. That makes it all even more fun. She has pain, psychological pain. Now let's kick her even harder in the face because she has psychological pain. That's how they reason. So then they go to someone like Owen Cook or whatever his name is. And like these coaches. He's a coach and he doesn't even treat women very well, but he obviously must treat women better than the haters do, or he wouldn't be having any women, right? So he tells men, you need to be nice to women. If you want a woman, you should be nice to a woman. And then the haters say, I tried nice, didn't work, so I have to be mean. What do you mean by nice? Here's what they mean by nice. They mean they come up to a woman and insult her. I played nice. Why doesn't she like me now? Or maybe a little nicer than that. They come up to a woman and they say, so what do you like better, riding or doggy? like a total stranger, right? Like in a supermarket. No, I bet they would never dare to do that in public, in a supermarket or something. Only on the internet with Barack Obama's photo as their identity. Yeah, that's your photo. I bet it is. That is you. You look like that. Oh God, man. So, oh my gosh. Or you take the photo of Vin Diesel. Oh, yes. Yeah, and then you go, okay, so total stranger, riding or doggy? Okay. I'm married, so bye. I tried nice, didn't work. Now I'm gonna get even. Let's see. I bet she'll love me if I make a comeback and I say, and oh, the best thing, I will get a woman's account. That's both accounts are his, of course. The woman's, he stole someone's photo, some fat woman's photo, and then creates some imaginary name, and then he'll come and he will make me jealous. So, that's the way to do it. To make Nicola really, really feel really, really unwanted. Then I will get her when she feels really unwanted and she feels totally unsexual and gets maybe suicidal even. That would be even better, right? Then I will come and then I will lift her up. I have to break her down and then I will lift her up. That's my strategy. And then she figures that out. It was him, all of these accounts. And then she goes like, there's no way I can ever trust someone like this for the rest of my life. And then he says, I thought that approach would work. I was convinced. Now she walks away. I can't understand why. She should be head over heels in love with me. After I did all of that for her, spent all of that time making her life absolutely miserable. Right now, she should be in love with me for that. Okay, so now this was basically in a nutshell. The story is longer than that, obviously, and more agonizing than that. But just to give like a brief nutshell example of what was going on. So now, what is the problem with that situation? Is there a problem? Do you think there is a problem? If you think there's no problem, then you have a real serious problem. Obviously, right? If you think that there's no problem with that behavior. But whatever. So, nice didn't work. Let me tell you what nice is. Elon Musk is nice. Okay. Here's how, just to get an idea. Here's an imaginary scenario of Elon Musk walking down the street, eating an ice cream, and coming across Billie Eilish, who's also eating an ice cream. So they make a great couple, by the way. So here is, or they meet at someone's party or whatever, and they both happen to eat an ice cream, and he makes this move. He goes over and he says, "Oh, you're eating an ice cream too. How do you like your ice cream?" And she smiles and says, "It's yummy." And he says, "I know, it's so yummy." So, and then he will ask her, "Would you like to sit with me on that couch over there, or on the Hollywood swing?" My grandmother used to have one of those. "Let's go out in the garden and sit on the Hollywood swing and swing back and forth on that's a swing couch, basically. And eat our ice cream and look at the swimming pool." And she will say, of course she will say, yes. I mean, this is probably a bad example because it doesn't really represent two people that have never known about each other. So, of course, she knows about him. And I'm sure that I have the feeling she would go out with him. I think he would go out with her. So we just have to bring them together. That's all there is to it. But let's just stick with this example. Maybe I'll bring up another one afterwards. So that he will never say, "Do you like doggy or riding?" No. Take a guess why that is. Because you don't use a bulldozer to come through someone's front door. That's why. Okay? So, you talk about ice cream, you talk about some harmless things. You can talk about watermelons, maybe, but without some sexual backthought. Okay? So just put the sexuality, put the banging part on the back burner, just for now, right? In the very beginning, maybe just you're meeting somebody here, okay? You're meeting someone. I noticed that, and this is where the problem is coming in. That's why this is so convoluted. This whole thing is so convoluted. For people like Billie Eilish and Elon Musk, they would never have a problem in the world. They would never even come to such a term and saying, "Oh, he he just friend zoned me, or she friend zoned me. Now I am finished. No, they go, oh, he is friendly with me. He friend zoned me. How awesome. I am friend material for Elon Musk. You know, I would be over the moon happy about this. Okay, whether something romantic comes out of it or not, I would be over the moon if Elon Musk liked me as a buddy. Okay, as a friend. Just someone to talk to for 10 minutes and then never to see that person again, right? I would be over the moon. I would tell him in these 10 minutes, if I can possibly squeeze that in, about my vision for the world, to make the world a better place, to create therapy help centers. So, and I would, because that's what I would do with anyone I would meet at the parties. If it's anyone who is influential in some way, I would try to do this. But this is besides the point now. This is not what I'm talking about. So, and Billie Eilish would probably ask him to help the poor people in Detroit. The poor people in Detroit, they don't have a home. They just destroyed their own home with bricks. But now you need to buy them a new house. Okay, so that's probably what she would say. So, and we need to make reparations for everyone who has been mistreated before. But let's forget that these other people have mistreated others also before us. But yeah, just for the sake of wokeism, right? So, and Elon Musk would say, nope, I will not do that. And if she gets mad, he will get up and say, peace and love, have a good one. Because, you know why? Because he is not desperate. That's why. He's not desperate. He can have any woman he wants. Literally any woman, okay? Now, this is the number one guy who can really have, even though he stutters, which is normally in society, like, which puts a man instantly into a much lower range of marketability, right? If we want to use that term, as some relationship coaches love to use that term, but they only love to use that term when it applies to women, just to be extra sexist, right? That's why. So I'm using it now on men, so take it or leave it. So yeah, it would normally put a man on a much lower level if they stutter, because then women would think, oh, he is, he's not a protector, and he would be over-bullied by anyone immediately, or, they wouldn't feel protected, and women want to feel protected. This is an innate, inbuilt need in us. Okay, and I am the same way, and it's difficult for me actually to listen to a man who stutters. It makes me feel sorry for him, and I would give my life to protect Elon Musk, trust me. So I love him, I really do. It's not just a physical love, it is mainly, it's a sister love that is very intense, that I have a love for him. Okay, he's a Buddha level soul. He's giving his entire life and more to protect all of us, to save all of us from ourselves. And then people don't appreciate him because they're being told by the fake news to not like him. So they don't even know why they don't like him. They're just, they don't like him because they're told not to like him. That's all. That's all they need to know, right? That's how retarded all of that is, and that makes me irritated. So earlier I was talking to Paul about all of this, and it's just so unfathomably irritating. It's the whole thing. It really is. It's insane, all of that. So, but Elon Musk, obviously, it doesn't matter whether he stutters or not. He is extremely good looking, extremely good Nordic man, big build, like with big legs. Like he has his legs are twice as large around than any other man's. So whoever he sits with, you can look at Elon Musk's legs. They're really, really thick. This man is thick, so it's really, really hot. Okay, so the whole body, incredible body, and tall and big built like a Neanderthal, and incredibly naturally strong and gorgeous, and he doesn't even age, and like a powerful person, and an IQ of 1,000 and more. So, I mean, that, then of course, even though he said he's not into all of this because of business, he's not a businessman. He said it several times. He is an engineer. Okay, so business is on the back room, on the back shelf. Okay, it's not the most important for him. But he becomes the richest man in the world, or declared the richest man. Who knows? The Rothschild people probably already have trillions. But he is definitely declared the richest man. And why? Not because of business, because he creates products that actually work and that are absolutely incredible and amazing, and people have to have those products. Okay, so they're necessary. They're helping people. Okay, robots, self-driving trucks, and so on. Rockets to go to another planet, to go to Mars and the moon. Incredible innovations, incredible inventions. And because he doesn't have much time, he's very, he works, I think he works like 20 hours or something. It's really insane. He works twice or three times as much as other people, even as other entrepreneurs. He works way too much. He's stressed out and overworked. So he would, because of this, because he has 5 different companies that he's running, so he has to keep an eye on all of this at all times. It's very, very difficult. That's why he has a lot of infiltrators. So there's no way he can see what's going on into every niche and every crevice that is happening in his company. So, but when things start to go downhill, he will see it, and then he will ask the right questions. Where is it going wrong? Okay, what's happening? And then he'll figure it out, and then he has to fire people. That's all there is to it. So, because the people he hires are corrupt, most of them. Most of them are even flocking to him because they're sent out to him to sabotage his companies. So this is very sad, is that, because there's so many corporate underworld players that want to sabotage him because they're afraid of him, because he is the world's most leading, most world-changing engineer and entrepreneur and complete, like a god. I mean, this has never happened before in history, okay? So, of course, women love him. Of course, this is like, yeah, I want a god as a boyfriend. Every one of us will say that, will say it into the mirror, or think it at least, yeah, even if they don't admit it. So some of them will say, no, I don't want him, but then they start to come up to him. Hey, you need to give some money to Detroit. But that's really, they really just wanted to start a conversation with him. I know you. I know you all. I know. You cannot lie to me. I see you. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a lot wrong with giving psychopaths money. Okay, there's something very wrong with it. But there's nothing wrong with you going up to Elon Musk and saying something that tickles him, right? Because you know that's going to tickle him. So, but then you started a conversation with him, and maybe a juicy one. Maybe he triggered him a little bit, and that will tickle him even more. And that's how it goes. And you know it. You know it so well. Because you're so similar to me. So, but anyway, it is what it is, okay? That is what women want. They want a man like Elon Musk. And so, or, let's see. Let's use another example. Let's take Theo Vaughn. Okay, so Theo Vaughn does not stutter. Theo Vaughn is a sonnet. Theo Vaughn is extremely loving to everyone, but I guess he has his limits too, and that's good. I'm glad he does. So, and I don't understand why a woman would not fall for him. So that wouldn't make any sense to me. But maybe he is too friendly. Maybe a lot of women are so messed up in the head that they think they need a man that is a little bit edgy or something, which is this is really bad in my personal view. Anyone who wants a man, but this is out of childhood pain, you know, and almost everyone has childhood pain. So, and Theo Vaughn looks a little bit like Bindi Irwin. That is the male version of Bindi Irwin. That's the truth. Cutesy pootsy. So, yeah, I mean, the right woman should come along. You know, I wouldn't be worried about that at all. I mean, not at all. So, but let's take Theo Vaughn. He walks down the street while he's eating a Häagen-Dazs ice cream. He is eating a white chocolate with raspberry cream filling while he's walking down the street. I wished I could create something like this. That's another thing that I want to create. Besides dog food and healthy protein bars and stuff like that. So to make a vegan cocoa free white chocolate with raspberry filling. That's a dream. So Theo Vaughn is walking down the street eating a white chocolate with raspberry filling, like the Kinderschokolade. And he sees a woman, let's say Billie Eilish, but then he already knows her. They already have seen each other on the internet, of course. And that always is a little different, of course. That cannot be directly compared to any random man coming across a woman in order to give the proper example. So let's say Theo Vaughn is walking down the street, and if he saw Billie Eilish, he'd be extremely friendly, of course, and maybe they would be friends and lovers. And she would be nice to him. I don't know if he is her type, but because often opposites attract. So opposite people. People that are... She's not a Sonnenlicht. So I don't know what personality type she has. Definitely type A. But he has type A too. I'm a total introvert, so INFJ. Maybe not so much when I make videos, but when I go into the store, for example, I don't look at people. I don't look into people's eyes. If someone looks at me, I feel very shy. I want to hide. I hide behind a shelf. So, and when I do talk to people, I feel like an imposter, actually. Isn't that all strange? This is real strange. Is this? Yes. It really is, has a lot to do with childhood trauma, definitely. I have been annihilated psychologically by my grandfather and my mother. My dad added some of it too, my brother too. But my mother and my grandfather, when I was a child, they obliterated me psychologically. It's really vicious. So, and that shows up. It's a red thread. It's a soul contract. So I will always I'll always be gravitating just to a situation where something like this could occur again, or the danger of that could occur again. But I'm paying more attention now. As soon as someone becomes toxic, I walk away. So I have to do this. I owe that to myself. Absolutely. Or I can't heal if I don't walk away. I have to. Okay? I have to do it. But Billie Eilish has never been mistreated in her entire life. Never. Not even once. I don't know about Theo Vaughn, so maybe he had some pain in his childhood. I think he talked about that. So, but I don't know to which degree. I mean, if you are a type A personality, you can't, there's no way someone obliterated you psychologically. So, or you wouldn't be type A. Maybe some of it is also genetic, of course. But and I feel really sorry for myself. I feel sorry for myself right now as I'm talking about this. My videos are therapy also for me. It's like talking to a therapist, basically. Just rambling it all out. Just randomly rambling. Ramble. Blah. So I need to just... I ramble it out of my shoulder joints. All that pain and from childhood. So it's like an inflammation, and it needs to be rambled out. And the whatever comes up, so self-pity, it's okay. I cleaned the whole house today, I worked real hard, I sweated. I wasn't feeling self-pity at that moment. I just was huffing and puffing and sweating, and I had to take moments of a break, but then I would continue and breathe and get it done, the whole thing, in a couple of hours. So now is my time to reflect and talk about it, maybe cry it out. Maybe I will cry in the video, maybe I will cry after the video, but at some point I will cry again. Yesterday I cried all day long. The day before that I cried all day long. And it is what it is. It cries for as long as it needs to cry. And I feel sorry for myself for as long as it takes. So it is what it is. So, and I often think about how the haters have treated me, and then I start crying again, and I start feeling sorry for myself again. It is what it is. So, I will not show you. Okay? I will not show you. Not easy. Not easy. Yeah. It's not easy, all of this. This is a totally chaotic video. There's no rhyme and reason in it at all. So, just a real sad video. Sad grandmother who feels sorry for herself. That's what the video is all about. But whatever. But anyway, so Theophan would be nice to Billie Eilish and she would be nice to him. I don't know if they end up lovers, but either way, you have to be nice. There's no way around it. Okay, so, or he walks down the street eating raspberry white chocolate, and he'd come across me, and I also eat the same chocolate, and he would say, "Oh, nice chocolate, huh?" And then he wouldn't even stop. He would just keep on walking and wave, bye, enjoy the chocolate. So, okay, let's take another example. But you have to be nice. It doesn't hurt to be nice. You have to be nice no matter what. You can't go up to someone like the hater does and say, "You're fat," or "You think you can still get a boyfriend," or something like that. That's a pickup line. So, just in case someone who is more decently equipped with better decent behavior can probably not even wrap their head around it, how someone can use that as a pickup line. But they do. Trust me, they do. Or they will say, "Oh, your chin. Your chin is looks like a can opener. A can opener chin." That's a pickup line. I didn't even know that. So It took me a long time to figure that out. After many tears and heartbreak and thinking I better not even make videos anymore because, hey, I have a can opener chin. Or bottle opener chin, or whatever they call it. And then later on, I said, what the heck, I like my chin. Even though it's big and fat and all of that. And it is so incredibly politically incorrect. I still like it. So, yeah. And you can hate it. And you don't need to watch my videos. But I like it. I think it's funny. And I like it. I love every cell in this chin. Can opener chin. Yeah. A big chin is big personality, okay? That I have. You can't deny that. Okay. I'm introverted, but I have a big personality. So I'm not showing you. Okay. So, and I'm not a bully. The haters accused me of being a bully. They were projecting. They're heavy duty bullies. Okay, so I'm not a bully. Okay, I would never walk up to someone and say, you better vote for this or that person, or you better vote for me for governor of California, or else. So, no, I do not. That is not my pickup line, okay? So, no. And my activism doesn't go to that extreme, obviously. And I also have a prefrontal cortex. Frankenstein knows best that this would actually be counterproductive to say, you better vote for me as governor or else. Alright, so that has the counterproductive effect. Yes. we do not want to achieve that, obviously. I'm not showing it. So, yeah, let's do the extra grind here. It always has to have the extra grinding. The extra grinding. Because my computer is heavy. But it's okay. So, I don't mind. It makes the video a little less monotone. So. I noticed that Chloe 70 laughs like that. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. She looks like me and laughs like that too. that is pretty shocking. So, but anyway. So, Theo Vaughn walks down the street, eats raspberry white chocolate, and sees Chloe 70. And what does he do? He says hello. And he gets into a conversation with her. I don't know if they end up lovers, but friends is always good no matter what. Okay? This is the beginning. It's always good to be friends. Okay? So, but anyway. So, that's not a good example. Theo Vaughn eats raspberry white chocolate walking down the street and comes across the hottest babe in the world, but someone unknown, someone not known by everyone. Someone who is just a nurse somewhere in a hospital, not known by anyone. Never written any book, never publicized herself anywhere. A sonnet to someone who is always there for others, working as a nurse in a geriatric home, and she is Theo Vaughn's own age, like 25 or something. And he definitely talks to her, and whether she eats that same chocolate or not, he will figure something else out. And with someone like me, even though I eat the same chocolate, he will just smile about it and walk on. And try to get the hell away from me. So, and that's what most people would do, It just is what it is. So, it's soul contract. I have to just accept that, right? This is what I have to accept. So, the men who like me are those, like the real heavy duty trailer. those are the ones, because they figure, better her than nothing, So but then that was an illusion, because it won't be me either. No, thank you very much. I have terrible OCD with cigarette particles, and even more with any kind of drug paraphernalia. So I make a huge circle around those types in a store. I mean, I go through the extra lengths with my shopping cart to walk around the entire store just to get away from someone like that. Oh man. And then also the ones that have the body odor. I make a big circle around those. So that tells you right now that being into drugs is also a setback on the dating market. So it's a big setback. It puts you in the lower bracket. Don't do it. And not smelling good. Definitely makes you slide 10 levels down. So don't do it. Just don't do it. I know what I'm talking about. Women have a much more sensitive nose than men have. Okay, so I know this light here is not the most complimentary of all. I have shadows under my eyes. Oh, it's awful, but whatever. So I'm not participating in any beauty pageant. So, and the t-shirt is stained on top of it. That's also, all of that puts me into the lower bracket. But it's not me that is trying to win a prize with any of that. I'm trying to tell men, if they don't want to be a spinster, a lonely, bitter man that stands by the window drinking his beer. If you don't want to end up like this, please take my advice. Take my advice. Don't drink beer anymore. Take that beer and pour it down the drain. And then recycle the bottle. And never buy beer again. Never buy alcohol again. Never buy the glowing rods. Yikes, I have OCD with that. I can't even say the word. It's awful. It's horrible. You have to throw that away. I used to do that. Yes, don't like to think about that. And the way I quit is I had 18 left in the box of Marlboro Mint. That really pierces the lungs. So what I did is 18 left in the box. I took the box and I dumped it into the dumpster. Into my home dumpster. And I closed the lid. And I said, I wiped my hands on my pants and I said, I'm done. This is it. I'm free now. I am completely free. And I'll never look back. Okay? So, and that's how you have to do it. That's how it's done. I still have nightmares about it. And I wake up thinking I did it again. I fell back. It's a nightmare for me. It's like, it's a mega depressing dream. When I dream of the glowing rods, yeah, and somehow people got me to do it again, and I feel like I am. It's the ultimate setback. It's like, it's rock bottom for me. That to the idea is so depressing and so horrible. So no, but just the fact that I'm thinking that means that I'm on track, okay? Because nothing in the world can ever get me to do this again, or hang out with people like this. For that very reason, also, I cannot hang out with smokers. Okay, I cannot. Ever, ever, ever. Not my own brother, nobody. Okay, I cannot. Friends of my parents that were chain smokers, I had to ask them to go outside. At my parents' house, I did that. And they all looked at me like I'm crazy. My parents kind of liked that, but they felt embarrassed because they would never have the guts to say that to them. But I could not stand it. And the smell of that, it gets into my parents' curtains, and it's just awful, 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 awful bad, horrible. So I cannot. I mean, it's like rock bottom already on the dating market. I mean, unless you are looking for the same type, you're a smoker looking for a smoker, then it doesn't matter, right? Then you can ruin your lungs together or something. Yeah. Party and do your meth, and instead of the math that you should be doing about it. I don't need to say any further about it, but that it's just, these kind of particles are for me absolute rock bottom. When I see someone like this, and I can clearly detect that by the way they look, it's just a pity. It's a horror for me to see someone who has so much potential who would do something like this. I mean, that's just awful sad and depressing. Someone who has potential to be a great person who would be seduced by something so horrible. Okay, so don't do it. I saw a young couple. They were methamphetamine users, and we saw them. That was many years ago. We were using the I think we didn't have internet at that time or something. I don't know, or in between internet. Didn't know which server, which company to use. So we went to the public library and we used the computer there, and we sat in the van, and we had the Papa dog in the van with us. And I would go for a walk with Papa dog. I would see this couple there. I quickly go back to the van. I don't want to be around these people. But we saw them in that park, and they were homeless. They were sleeping in the middle of a flower field next to the library, next to the parking lot. And I saw them. They were preparing something, and they were snorting something there. And I thought, how incredibly awful. They looked like they were 20. But the girl, that was so sad. I saw them also at another place. I guess when they still had a car. That's not long before, like half a year before that. They still had a car, but they were at a parking lot of a trailhead, and they didn't have anything together. They were homeless in that car, and they put all of their belongings outside on the parking lot, and I don't know what they were doing there. And the girl looked at us, and she was smiling, and she had no more teeth. No more teeth. Okay? And she already looked older because of that. And then we saw them again in that park there by the library, and it was so depressing to see that. This girl without teeth, and she looked even worse. And then a year later, we saw them again at the grocery outlet at the parking lot, and she was bumming for money, and she was alone. No, the boyfriend was gone, and she looked like 60. I'm not exaggerating. Okay. So don't do it. Okay? Don't do meth. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do crack cocaine. Don't take any drugs. Don't take any drug at all. Okay? If you have any sense left in your mind, don't do it. Even if you're suicidal, even if you think, oh, no future or whatever, let's just party instead of just vegetating. No, 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 no. It's exactly reversed. My haters even use this like non-argument. You are vegetating when you're doing these things. That's when you're vegetating, okay? When you're not doing it, you're actually living. You might be depressed, you might think, oh, this is not worth it, or it's awful. Yeah, look at me, how I suffer and all of that. But that's still light years better than resorting to those toxic drugs. It's the truth what I'm saying here. Take grandmother's advice, okay? It's the truth. I'm giving you the truth. If I can save someone's life with these videos, then I've done my job. Okay, please listen to my advice. Please, you are infinitely precious. Donald Hoffman said it too. You are infinitely precious. Love yourself. Love your body. Okay, love your chin, no matter how it edges on with society. It doesn't matter. So who cares? What's the point in worrying about all of this? Okay, there's no point in this at all. That looks nice. The light reflecting in the window. That looks awesome. That almost looks like there's an ET spaceship out there in the forest that is shining up from underneath. This is really cool. I love that. Loved it. That's so nice. Oh, that is so nice. I haven't seen this before. That's because I shifted the disco light over a little bit, and now immediately creates a different light. It's really, really awesome how all of that is. Great. The best lights we ever found. Paul found those. He found those in 2017, I think he found those. Somewhere at Home Depot on sale. For $5 each, those are garden lamps. Those are garden lights that we stick into the soil, but we never used it for that. We use it in the house. That is so much better to use that in the house, so, and not to use that for a barbecue party, and certainly not use it for a methamphetamine party. No. These lights are innocent. They have nothing to do with any of that stuff. So. But anyway, so let's get back to the main subject, which is Theo Vaughn eating a white chocolate with raspberry cream filling. So, fantastic combination. The best in the whole world. And he finds this nurse, and he is real nice to her. Real nice. Whether she likes him or not, he's real nice to her. And maybe she will like him, maybe not. But he's not even thinking about all of that, what he has in his mind and all of that. He's thinking, oh, a pretty girl, a nice girl. I want to get to meet her. It makes me schizophrenic when I hear the hearing aids. It's really awful, the sound of the hearing aids. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Elon Musk would never make hearing aids with that kind of squealing sound. So, but he doesn't have time to make hearing aids too. I mean, it's like, what is he all gonna do? I mean, all kinds of sex robots and robots for geriatric people and self-driving robots and talking robots and working robots and all of that stuff, an entire army of robots that go to Mars before people go there. And they're gonna find hieroglyphs and they're gonna find pyramids. They'll find an entire pyramid set, just like in Egypt. The entire exact replication, but it was built there first. See, that's the thing. Long before life even evolved on Earth, believe it or not. Yeah, that is a hard fact. No, it's not, but it is a possibility. So yeah, there's always a possibility. And yes, I sound like I'm drunk, but I'm not. I ate broccoli soup, so I am drunk on broccoli soup now. That's the truth. That's what broccoli does for you. It's so much better than LSD. Trust me. Broccoli. I even have a broccoli blanket here. It advertises broccolis. Okay, the video is getting very long now. But I just want to come back to the point I'm trying to make for the haters. So, I gave you the examples that work now. So, let's take Philip Jones. He walks down the street and eats a raspberry filling white chocolate. I don't even know if he would eat something like this. That would not, he probably would think that would make him into a girl. No, he would have to eat a dark chocolate with vodka or with liquor filling or something to be a man. Not that. See, that's what the whole problem is about Philip Jones. He thinks he needs to be a man and goes against his own inner child, the child that wants the raspberry chocolate. But the man, Philip Jones, brainwashed by his dad and by the Catholic religion and by his people, his people, and that's the only people he votes for. His people, they're my people. So if they bring in, I don't even want to mention the name, if they bring in the drug cartels, it's okay. It's his people. and peer pressured into eating dark chocolate instead of raspberry chocolate, even though his inner child, which is the real him, wants the raspberry chocolate, but that has to be overridden by what his dad said, that he needs to man up. And it sounds hideous and sounds like a joke or something, but it's not. Okay, it's tragic. That's what it is. It's real tragic. He thinks wearing a pink t-shirt would make him grow boobs. He thinks that his bedding has to be... He can't wear a broccoli blankets, for example. That would grow boobs immediately. That's so feminine. Or what else? He can't... His computer has to be black, or he would suddenly lose his beard, or something like that. This is a mental illness. It's not reality, okay? But a man like that, how do I teach a man like that? How to date women? So, how do I teach a man like that if you want to actually have a woman, you need to be nice to the woman. And you need to wear a pink t-shirt that says, vote for Tom Steyer. Okay? Or Chad Bianco. I bet Chad Bianco is a bit on this other end as well, on the black t-shirt end, but he would never be mad at me. He would never behead me for saying something like that. But Philip Jones would. See, that's the difference between Philip Jones and Chad Bianco. And I'm not talking about the Philip Jones that's governor of North Carolina. No, Philip Jones stole that name from the governor of North Carolina. That's not his real name, okay? But I use that synonym, Philip Jones, for all of these accounts, including all of the frog accounts. There could be different people, but I have the suspicion it's all it's all one person. The clown accounts, all of those, the women accounts, all these thousands of different accounts that have tried to psychologically operate me into the ground for 15 years. It's the truth. It's sad, but it's still true. So I wish that 60 Minutes Australia would finally crack down on those people. That would be good, actually. It really would be good. Where they come to Philip Jones's doorstep and say, bro, it looks like you're in a lot of trouble now. I want to live to see that moment. I want to just live long enough to see that moment happen. Oh man, I will open a bottle of Knutson's red grape juice just to celebrate this. The moment when 60 Minutes says, even though he's not arrested, nothing happens to him. I just want to hear them say, bro, it looks like you're in a lot of trouble. And then in a look on Philip Jones' face, finally karma caught up. It took a long time. It took his entire lifetime of 40 years. But it finally cracked down on him. For 40 years he got away with hacking into YouTube, into X website into clavicular Cybertruck, into the Pentagon, into banks, into Swiss banks, and stole money. Finally, finally, they caught up with him. They first didn't think it was necessary because they don't need to help one grandmother, right? But then they figured out, dang, that grandmother, she actually caught a fish there. A big, like a big catfish. Literally, my goodness. So, like, like a Pentagon hacking catfish. So, now finally, we are entering into a golden era now, after the arrest of Philip Jones, and it's just a stolen name. So, yeah, whatever his real name is. Rodriguez. Maybe Javier Rodriguez, right? That's his real name. But a smart cookie, that guy is. So, you gotta be a smart cookie to crack into the Pentagon and into Swiss bank accounts. You have to be, but it's a savantish type of intelligence, because obviously he doesn't understand. He can't even understand how to say hi to a woman on the street. Okay, he doesn't even understand that you can't say to a woman doggy or riding, like someone who he doesn't even know, doesn't even understand that yet. So that must be a savant, right? That's not the average savant, because the average savant would never say doggy or riding to a random person. So it's obviously not the average savant. It is an unaverage savant. It's the cluster B savant. That's what that is. Okay, that's what cluster Bs do. They can only eat dark chocolate and say doggy or riding, or they say, dang, you have a big chin, and use that as a pickup line. So that's I mean, you can say that to a woman, but don't. Then obviously you have to keep going, right? Because she might hit you over the head with her purse or something. So you don't want that to happen. You don't know what's in that purse. There could be a cinder block in that purse. That would hurt pretty bad. I've had cinder block type of rocks in my purses before, but not for that purpose. That's a different purpose. The purpose of picking up a gorgeous rock at the beach. So and they always have a square type of shape, because I like square type of shapes. So now we know how to pick up a woman, and now we know how to not pick up a woman. Peace and love for all living beings and all reptilians and all frog accounts.